What's up, guys? I'm 𝗕𝗢𝗪𝗏𝗧. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to increase your push-up strength. We're going to break down the movement, and I'm going to show you ways to help you progress. Hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in. All right, in order to get stronger at a push-up, it's necessary to understand all of the muscles that are being utilized in the movement. So if I am at the top of a push-up, let's discuss what's happening here. So in the top of a push-up, the first point of contact is where my hands meet the ground. So you need to have strong wrists right here. Now, a lot of people don't have the ability to really pull their wrists back, so they put their hands in front of their shoulders, and you see push-ups like this. That's a compensation for the fact that if their wrist was further back, there would be that much more compression in the joint. So if you're seeing that problem, work on your wrist mobility. I post other videos of how to increase wrist mobility. This is going to be really helpful in progressing with your push-up. So now, point of contact with the ground. Now, some people also, they make their contact on the balls of their hands. You want to spread your fingers, get a nice wide base, grip the floor. The better your contact with the ground, that is going to send better stability up your entire body. If you have weak contact with the ground, your body can't be as stable, you can't hold proper form. So first, point of contact with the ground. Next, you're going to notice you're going to have forearms, elbows, shoulders. All of these need to be in line with your wrist. Your elbow should be directly over your wrist, and your shoulder should be directly over your elbow. If you're properly stacked, this should be a really strong position. You should be able to hold this really well. The next piece of the puzzle is your shoulder blades or your scapula. Now, often you will see people weak in the shoulder blades when they do push-ups like this because they're only thinking about their triceps. They're literally just doing triceps. But the top of a push-up is not just here, it's here, there. See the difference? I'm pushing away. So if you notice that your push-ups are weak, think about working on a joint that is going to help you with that movement, and that's going to be your scapula. So your shoulders need to be strong. Although your triceps are doing most of the work, your scapula is what finishes the movement. Now, if you have a strong scapula, it's more than just finishing the movement, because I can do push-ups with my scapula retracted, meaning shoulder blades pulled back, or if I have a really strong scapula, my push-ups look like this. My scapula is protracted through the movement instead of my shoulder blades kissing the whole time, which can cause a number of issues, neck pain, impingement, a lot of things. All right, so that's the upper body. The chest is engaged as we come down in the movement, but we'll get to that. The next piece of the puzzle is core. Now, the reason that I like push-ups better than bench press, the reason I like bodyweight exercises is because when you're doing a bench press, your abs are soft. You're just engaging your chest and your triceps. Your legs are soft, they're not doing anything. When you're in a push-up, in order to keep my legs nice and strong and to hold that, I need to engage my glutes. So I'm squeezing my ass to keep a nice strong line in my leg. At the same time, I'm pulling my belly button in, because a lot of people like this, they do push-ups like this, they don't realize they're just focusing on getting their chest and their shoulders up, but you need to pull in your core and tilt your pelvis, tilt your hips, pull in that core nice and tight, and then squeeze your glutes. Some people don't squeeze the glutes, they pull in the core, but then their legs look like this. Squeeze the glutes, pull the core, and you can tell I'm not even doing reps and I'm out of breath just because I'm engaging my core and squeezing. It's hard to talk and to do this. So the next piece of the puzzle, once I catch my breath, is going to be your breath. And I'm going to explain breath before I get into the piece of lowering down and what muscles we engage when we push up. Let me breathe. That's how you should breathe when you're doing a push-up. In through your nose, out through your mouth. So a lot of people don't know this, and I thought this was common exercise behavior, but you should breathe in on your way down and breathe out when you're really pushing against that resistance. Looks like this. Those are powerful reps, and I'm recovering and oxygenating my body throughout each rep. So breathing is important. If you're noticing that you're getting fatigued and you're not breathing, or you're really red in the face, like I might be while trying to talk and do this video, breathe more, breathe. That's really gonna help you. So again, the reason I like to push up, what is engaged? Hands, forearms, triceps, shoulder blade, chest, core. We're going down the back, glutes are engaged, legs are engaged, I'm on my toes, my calves are engaged, everything is engaged. So next time you're doing a push-up, if you're trying to progress, start making sure that your body is engaged. You shouldn't be loose and just pushing. Then your push-ups could look like this, and I see way too much of this. That's not good for your back, that's not utilizing the muscles you should be utilizing. A push-up can be one of the most efficient uses of your energy if you fully engage your body. And I mean by efficient is, if I'm doing 30 seconds of this, I'm only really targeting my triceps, as opposed to doing 30 seconds of this, where I'm in a plank the whole time, targeting my core, I'm pushing, targeting my chest, triceps, and everything that we spoke about. I'm gonna catch my breath and we're gonna dive into some progressions to help you get stronger so you can hammer more reps out in proper form for your push-ups. All right, so now you wanna get stronger at a push-up, but you can't do the full movement perfectly. I want you to keep proper form. We're not gonna break form, we're just gonna reduce the workload. So everybody's seen push-ups that you can do from their knees. Some people do them like this. Some people on their knees still do the elbows out wide, above your head thing. If you're on your knees, try to come forward so your hips aren't over your knees. Come forward, it's gonna make it a little bit harder. It's gonna force you to engage your core. Don't come forward and sink like this. You don't wanna arch, this isn't yoga. Pull that in, engage, press through your shoulders. And from here, we're only gonna focus on the negative. Just coming down, proper form. We're stacked here. Just coming down, nice and slow. Elbows don't come out wide, they're not perfectly tight to the body, kind of at 45 degrees. We come down nice and slow, strong in the shoulders. Down. You can use your leg, help yourself back up. We're just doing the negative. If you don't need to use your knees, the next progression would be to do the negatives, engage everything, and just focus on nice and slow. One of my exercises, even though I'm good at push-ups, is to do negatives for 30 seconds, sometimes 60 seconds, just trying to slowly control this movement. There's two parts to a push-up. There's the strength and there's the stability that's needed in your frame. The stability is what holds your proper position. The strength is what drives against the resistance of your body weight, against gravity. So once you've done negatives, you can do the opposite and work on just the strength. But you want to build that negative strength first because that's all control. If you don't have the stability to control your body and you're just using all strength, you're going to break your form. And what I mean is, when we do just the positive of the movement, if you don't have that stability, you're still going to wind up like this. And you see people that are strong, but they fight their way to the top. You're not going to get stronger by doing it that way. So really make sure to hold your proper form, engage, breathe out. Now, let's talk about your chest touching the floor. A lot of people say a perfect rep is chest touching the floor all the way to lock. Where I would agree with that, I would also say that to touch your chest to the floor requires a good range of motion in your chest and in your shoulders. Think about it. If I'm down here, I need to be able to get my arms back. This is a lot of mobility for a lot of people. So to come all the way down here and hold proper form is probably not likely if you don't have that mobility. So don't worry about touching the floor. Worry about going low enough that's comfortable for your shoulders, and if you want to progress, we can work on some chest openers to help you with that mobility. One of which would be getting into position like this, putting your hands here, and rolling across, just until you start to feel that stretch. Doing the same thing the other way, just until you feel that stretch. You can bend the arm here, come across, that's another chest opener, or open the hand up and roll across. Also, another amazing chest opener. We've talked about the stability in the body. We've talked about strength. You know how to do negatives. You know how to do positives. Now there's some other keys that are part of this. You'll notice people often use push-up handles. Well, a push-up handle makes a push-up, it changes a push-up because now your wrist doesn't have to be compressed. Now your wrist, your point of contact is off, you're in a fist, so you're actually in a stronger position, but you're also up higher. See how I'm here and I'm down lower from there, I'm up higher. So when you're on push-up handles or doing push-ups on your knuckles, you actually have to come down even lower, so it can be harder. But use push-up handles if you notice that your wrists are not strong enough, because as you're working on your wrist mobility, you can be building strength in the rest of your body and start to connect those pieces. All right, next let's talk about training and volume. In order to get stronger, in order to progress, you need to target your body and challenge your muscles enough so that they grow. That's it, plain and simple. But for me, I like to challenge my body to the point of failure. But for me, failure is when I fail with good form. Some people might be able to do, let's say, 20 push-ups straight, 30 push-ups straight, but when they get to the end of the reps, they're really just cranking them out like this. I'm not gonna count those. I mean, maybe if it's a competition or something, but that's not the point. The amount of reps is not important in you trying to progress. Right now, you're on a journey to get stronger. Forget the reps. Train to a feeling of exertion. So, if you're doing negatives, do your negative. Back up, do your negative. And when you get to the point where your negative is, or you don't feel comfortable, so you're slowly letting yourself down, or in the opposite, with the positive, if you're pushing like this, stop. You've already reached your failure. Continue to train in good form, and that's gonna help you progress. Getting stronger at push-ups, now you know everything to break down the move, you know some movements, positive and negative, and really you just need to do the movement as realistic as it is. We're gonna move to another exercise that's not push related to help you get stronger, and this is something that everybody does, right? This is the piece of the push-up that's important. It's just the plank, being able to hold this. Well, think about it. If you can't hold a 60-second plank, how are you going to be able to do 60 seconds of push-ups? It doesn't make sense. So in order to be able to do that, train your plank. If your plank is already strong, then you're training your plank while you're doing push-ups. That's fine. But for those that are at the beginning of their push-up journey, train your plank, train these. It's not about speed. Train shifting to one arm, holding. What you're doing is adding instability to your body, making your core really work, making your shoulder blades really work. You can work on movements like this. We can reach through and open up. This is a yoga move, but you don't have to do it so yoga-esque. You can just come, I like to do this, hand on shoulder, hand down, and I bring my elbow to my other elbow. And this is helping me really build that shoulder stability. We have shoulder stability workouts, scapula push-ups. I've showed these in my other video. Help you build that shoulder stability. Build that shoulder stability with these, nice and slow, elbow to elbow. Build that shoulder stability, building that push, control, negatives from the knees. And help yourself back up. Negative from the knees. Positive, starting down low, just pushing up, putting your knee down, letting yourself back down, pushing up. And those are your positives. Bunch of different exercises you can work on to get stronger. Biggest piece of the puzzle is keeping proper form, and that's how you're gonna get better at a push-up. Guys, hit me in the comments, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully this helped you. I don't imagine it's gonna help you right away, but put some of these to practice for the next month, and then get back to me, let me know how it helped. Love any feedback, want to make these videos as valuable and as good for you guys as possible. Again, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.